为什么说德鲁伊是流放2新赛季的真神呢？哎，这可不是我说的，可别说我胡编乱造，这是 GGG 在自己的访谈里边说的。我们可以看到访谈里边说德鲁伊会成为主流职业吗？大概率会，并且还在持续测试。如果发现弱，他还会持续加强。还有这一块，他会近期放出更多的德鲁伊后期的爆料，比如在后期搭配好的装备技能的情况下，可以变成龙形态，无间断的喷火，一喷喷整个地图。OK， 接下来给大家带来一段新赛季德鲁伊的实机试玩演示。
G'day folks, Ziggity here with a hands-on preview for the Druid. We'll take a look at the shape-shifting forms, Druid spells, and how the new class plays overall in the early campaign. I got a chance to record this when I went to the studio to host the Q&A, thanks to Grinding Gear Games for covering my flights to do so. Keep in mind that as this was recorded more than a week from launch, it's non-final and stuff can and already has changed from what you'll see here. The new Druid archetype is flavoured by the combination of elemental and nature magic combined with shape-shifting into various beast forms. It does the rare and challenging action RPG task of giving us the potential to play a hybrid of spells and attacks. The human form is where your spellcasting happens and your beast forms are where your melee happens.
Not natural this. Air's gone sour.
When you start on the beach, this is brought home when you immediately find a staff with lightning bolt to begin spellcasting. However, that is quickly followed by looting the new melee weapon type, a talisman. Talismans function just like any other melee weapon in terms of where your damage comes from. They scale just like a mace would, for example, with increased physical damage and attack speed. But unique to talismans, they give you the ability to select a shapeshift form using this UI element. Werewolf and bear form is what you have initially, with Wyvern unlocking a little bit later on. This choice doesn't lock you into a form, but rather it just grants you the basic attack of the chosen form. Whenever you use one of these talisman attacks or any other shapeshift ability, you'll automatically shapeshift into that form. The basic abilities of each form are fairly straightforward, with the potential for a little bit more complexity as you go and unlock other pieces that they can combo with. The Bear's Maul grants rage on hit, while the Werewolf's form, for example, creates exploding chunks of ice on attacking frozen enemies. So they're designed to support or reward the other shapeshift skills that you unlock later on.
Feels familiar somehow.
Each of the three forms also comes with passive effects and mechanics. The version I played was likely non-final in this regard, but for example, Bear had defensive boosts and generated endurance charges when rage was consumed, while the Werewolf gets a sizable out-of-combat movement speed buff, which you can see in its movement as it drops to all fours. You quickly also get your first actual gem on the beach here, Volcano.
By primal will.
This is a spell that causes an explosion and spits fire projectiles for a long duration. There's a running theme with a lot of the Druid spells that they provide some sort of ongoing benefit and that they often synergize with things that you can do while shapeshifted. This is all to support that idea of hybrid spells and melee shapeshifting, because after all, if it was something a little bit more limited, like a fireball for example, then you have to make a clear decision between whether you use a fireball or one of the shapeshifted attacks. In this case, you can place spells, they'll continue to do stuff while you're shapeshifted. Perfect. More on Volcano later. For now though, we can fight the Miller with Volcanoes and follow up with lightning strikes from the staff if we choose, or with our chosen shapeshift forms melee, which is obviously what I go for.
Still breathing? That's a start. Sleep now, whatever's left of ye.
The first uncut gem expands your options with the Entangle spell, Lunar Assault for Wolf, and Furious Slam for Bear. I'll test all of them as we go, don't worry, but I decided to kick off with focusing on the Bear's Slam combination first. The Bear's basic attack Maul generates Rage on hit, and Furious Slam spends Rage to empower itself with a more powerful explosion that leaves behind jagged ground. The fact that you're spending Rage also means that this constantly maintains endurance charges due to the Bear's passive bonus. Rage has been simplified across the game, with Rage spenders now more consistently costing 10 Rage, and a new visual effect shows in your character